Check it out.
Hey, Q.
It's a broke day, but everything is okay. I'm up all night, but everything is alright. It's a rough week and I don't get enough sleep. It's a long year pretending I belong here. It's a broke day, but everything is okay. I'm up all night, but everything is alright. It's a rough week and I don't get enough sleep. It's a long year pretending I belong here.
What kind of shit was that?
No, talking about like the ancient Sumerians and shit, and technologies that come from. One of the guys mentioned the name of an alien race or something, and I can't remember what it is now, but pretty interesting.
Like an alien race, like there's like the Greys. What are the other ones? There's like the Greys, the Bryozoa. How are they naming alien races like that? Like that doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Like that.
Not really our place to give them a name, is it?
Yeah, it doesn't make no fucking sense. I don't see why we would do that. Yeah,
There we go. List of alleged extraterrestrial beings.
that's a good list. So it says,
The Greys, like you mentioned.
yeah.
Little green men.
No, that doesn't keep up very well on my screen versus your phone.
No, it's all Wi-Fi based.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 2 of VoKab's Voice of Unreason podcast. Go ahead and like and subscribe, please, so we can keep doing this. But I think, what are you pulling up there?
Anything I can find. We could look at 7 alien races that look like beautiful human women.
No, we don't want that.
I'm not sure I want to click on that link.
Yeah, stay back a little bit. Definitely stay back a little bit. That laugh that you just did just fucking crackled in the microphone.
I did that last time pretty bad too.
On the drive home on Wednesday, I was looking at the sky because it was kind of late on the drive home, so it was dark.
Mm-hmm.
But there was what looked to be like 2 stars, right? That I'd never seen before on that drive normally. And also I was like, what the fuck? Turns out, was it Saturn and Venus were both visible and close to each other in the sky this week.
And the Northern Lights were epic in Kalispell area.
In Kalispell they were?
Not necessarily Kalispell, but that whole Flathead Valley. People have never seen it like that up there.
I bet you I probably could have seen it from here if I would have known what was going on.
From what I understand, if you put your phone out to the sky, it definitely danced like water on your phone.
That's crazy. That's something I've never seen before that I would really like to see someday.
I was on my way back from picking up Ava this last Friday, and I could have just turned around and went and seen it, dude, but that would have made a late night.
Wonder how, I thought that was something that was like only visible like in like the northern parts of Alaska.
No. Apparently it's pretty, especially in the glacier area. If you go up in a glacier, I can't remember the name of the road up there, but one of the main roads, apparently it's an every winter excursion. You can go see them. They just aren't as descriptive, I guess, as the way they were this last week.
Well, some of the videos I was seeing on TikTok were like people were right underneath them, you know. And you could really see it.
It covered that whole area.
You want to hit this?
I'm okay right now.
Oh, pussy.
I don't know. It's things like that that really make you feel small. And then you talk about, the planets, and you're thinking about how small those planets look like. They just look like stars from here, right?
do,
when you were driving home, and it Dude, we're small. We're tiny.
Somebody said in the group that I found that Venus was coming in for a kiss on Saturn or something like that. I don't remember what exactly it was.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'd never seen. It was definitely like really, really bright stars. And normally when you can see Mars, you can tell that it's like a red planet in the sky. But these just looked like two stars that I'd never seen before. And with all the UFO talk shit too, I was like, what the fuck is going on? Because when you're driving 80 miles an hour down the goddamn interstate, it kind of looks like they're moving. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so it almost looked like they were moving closer to each other based off of like the angle that I was looking at them at. So I was like, what the fuck are those? I had to pull out the star app on my phone and see what the fuck they were.
Oh, yeah. This thing's not working too well. There we go. Kind of.
It definitely is lagging just a little bit on the screen.
Yeah. Yeah, from phone to screen, it definitely is.
Yeah, I tried to do my Xbox one time off of it, like the casting from the Xbox onto the screen to see if I could still be on my computer and not have to transfer it over to HDMI mode. And it was just super laggy. Yeah,
Yep.
Didn't work.
Anything that's connected to internet like that.
Goddamn cat scratching at the door. For some reason, he feels like he's got to be right there, right next to you. Okay, so we got. So you're telling me we got joints, dabs, and a bowl, and you're not going to smoke any of this with me?
Not at the moment, man.
What the fuck?
I grabbed the dab when I got here, and those set me good for a while.
Ooh, that's the joys of... Dude, I'm so happy marijuana is legal in Montana now.
Yeah.
You can just go to the store and buy it.
Pretty much in any given time.
Wasn't that long ago that I was getting arrested and put in jail. And forced to go to rehab over smoking a little bit of cannabis.
Dude, I used to think he was the bigger dickhead, and I'm gonna tell you, Melody's the bigger dickhead nowadays. And Melody used to be my homegirl, dude.
Since we're not on video, you can't see what he's talking about, but he's talking about my cats.
I'm rubbing his pussy.
Yeah. I got an all-black cat named Dash and a tortoise-shell cat named Melody, and they're both kind of dickheads, but Dash is definitely much nicer than Melody is, for sure.
Melody used to be my homegirl. It didn't matter. If I came over, she was on my lap.
Yeah, I think she's... Time's gone by so fast. She's 5 years old now.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's really crazy to think about how fast time's gone by.
Dude, dog's 10. Dog's 10 years old.
Lulu's 10 years old?
Yeah.
Wow, where the fuck is time going, dude? That's wild.
I've had her for 9 of those.
Yeah, she was just a
She was 7 months old when I got her. Almost 8 months old.
beat up puppy when you got her.
Coming from a crack house.
Yep.
Being beat up by pit bulls. That household was a shit show when I got her from, though. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's...
But yeah, I've had her for 9 of those, man. It's wild to think. She's just a grumpy old bitch now.
She's still kicking hard, though.
Hard.
Yeah, I don't think she's going anywhere anytime soon.
Dude, you couldn't kill that dog.
I'm sure you could. I fucking wanted to a couple times.
I ran that dog over. By accident. She's chasing the car down the driveway like she used to, and she got under the wheel with her leg. Dude, this dog is still the next day chasing tennis balls with a cut from her leg here to here.
Dude, dogs are resilient.
She's a scrappy little thing, too.
Well, do you remember Ursus?
Yeah.
Before I was around, and before John was around, rather, when he was a puppy, that John had him logging with him, and he jumped over a log, and a little fucking branch on the log caught his belly and ripped him from his fucking balls all the way up to his rib cage. And I guess he had like intestines falling out of him and shit. And John shoved the intestines back inside of him and like ran in town and got him to the vet in time and saved the dog. Like, dogs are resilient. Like, if they want to live, they'll push it.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
I think Lulu wants to live, dog.
absolutely push that shit.
I still ain't met a dog yet, though, that she's fucking totally lost one to. She picks them fights, though.
Dude, that's like my sister's dog. Like, that fucking bitch. You get her around any dogs, kind of like Lulu, you know, like, she's not having it. She does not like other dogs. And even, like, strangers. Like, have you ever gone camping with my sister's dog?
With Levity, no.
Dude, it is the most obnoxious shit ever. Because you have to keep 100% control over her, or she's going after a dog. Like, she has no self-control.
See, Lulu does pretty good with that. I mean, I took her camping with... She did really good with Cynthia's dog. And we took her camping for Cynthia's company party when she lived up in Kalispell. Dude, I've never seen Lulu around so many dogs, and not one problem that started that weekend had anything to do with her.
That's crazy.
She didn't get involved. There was like 9 dogs there. And like they would get close and she'd be like no, or get in her area by our stuff and be like nope, not happening. But not one fight with her that weekend.
That's almost hard to believe. Cause
It happened though, dude.
Because Lulu is a cunt.
It happened though, man. She is a cunt. She got into it with Elam's dog one time. We took them camping and they were doing fine. She's just messing with a stick. And Coda was a young pup still, so he kind of liked to push his limits with dogs like that.
That's funny.
Yeah, Alex and I had to run behind the truck not shortly after and break them apart.
Yeah.
Because you can't go near Lulu's stick. It doesn't matter who you are. If she's got a stick in her mouth, you can't go near Lulu's stick. She ain't about that life.
Dude, she's definitely a good dog. I love her to death, but
She's a bitch.
she is a butthead for sure.
100% cunt.
That's funny. Dude, so I was on TikTok and I seen this shit. I was, you know who Louis Capaldi is?
No.
He's a singer. He's the one that does that kind of used to being someone you love or some shit like that. You ever heard of the...
I'm kind of used to being somebody.
Yeah.
That guy. Okay.
That song. He's, fucking, he's got Tourette's syndrome.
No shit.
Yeah, I like, he was on stage.
I've been seeing a lot of that Tourette syndrome stuff on Reels and TikTok and whatnot.
Well, watch this shit. I thought this was so cool. Like, he starts having a Tourette's breakdown on stage, and the crowd finishes the song for him.
Really?
Yeah, like, watch this shit.
Hello, it's Louis.
Like, it just takes over, and there's nothing you can do about it, and you just gotta stop, and the crowd has got his back.
That's awesome, dude.
I thought
That's
that was,
like goosebumps
dude, I thought
shit
that
right
was
there.
so cool. I was like, imagine being that guy. Like, probably got bullied growing up, because he was just diagnosed with Tourette's, I think, not that long ago, if I read correctly. I could be wrong. Don't 100%. No, I think he just thought that he had something wrong with him forever and didn't really know what it was. And then what I read, I think, said that the diagnosis of Tourette's was like a relief for him, because he thought like he was like really fucked up, you know, like.
Yeah.
But I imagine that he's doesn't look like he's in the best shape. I mean, he's an amazing singer. I'm not talking down on him at all, but I'm sure he got bullied a lot. You know, especially he looks like he's our age, and we kind of grew up in the last generation that truly got bullied. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I think, like,
You can't get bullied now.
you know, which is good. I'm really thankful that my kids don't really have to deal with that.
Yeah, I mean, there's some kids that are still assholes out there, don't get me wrong.
Oh,
but,
yeah, definitely. But
But
for the most part, it's shut down pretty quick.
That or it goes into the whole thing we were talking about last episode.
Yeah, but
Becomes oversensitivity.
That's kind of where, I mean, some bullying definitely can almost be like constructive, you know, but I don't think kids should be torn down like I was when I was in fucking middle school.
No, that definitely led to some bad shit to a lot of kids. I mean, there were kids literally
Suicide
killing themselves
rates,
over stuff, man, and it should never be that way. But to a point, do I believe that the occasional getting picked on, I was picked on. The occasional getting picked on, kind of, as long as it becomes something constructive,
like minor hazing, you know.
Yeah, minor hazing. There you go. That's a good comparison as to what I was looking for there.
Yeah, that's
minor hazing. I mean, definitely turns you into somebody a little stronger eventually.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Builds character. You know. Yeah. We don't want a bunch of fucking babies running around. You know that.
It's just what we got right now.
30-year-old fucking. You know, fucking soy boys. You know? Like,
yeah.
Fucking, you know, we got so many people that, coddling is definitely not something that we need to have in the world. But I mean,
there's a lot of it going on.
There is a lot of it going on. You know, I think we should avoid the trans topic, but that's definitely one of those things where
liberty, guns, beer, and Trump, my friend.
You know, it's like, yeah, I fucking. Did you? I don't know if it's fucking true or not, but it could have been like one of those deep fake AI things. But Biden was bragging about. He was talking and bragging about how he said 50% of the women that work at the White House are women. That's what it was. 50% of the women that work at the White House are women. And it could have been a deep fake voice thing that somebody did because the AI technology is insane.
You voice over and make videos, dude, anything nowadays, dude.
Have you seen the Chat GPT shit?
No.
Oh fuck! Look into that. Pull that shit up.
What is it?
Chat GBT.
GBT.
Yeah, it's an AI technology that pretty much has all of the world's knowledge inside of it. So you could literally put in there, write me a rap in the style
install
of Eminem.
Now chat on AI chat on GPT-3.
Dude, this shit is crazy. You could say, write me a comedy set in the style of Joe Rogan with Theo Von's, you know,
dialogue,
brain pattern and Bobby Lee's delivery, and they would write you this whole fucking thing that would sound just like what that would be. It's insane. You got
dialogue format makes it possible for Chat GPT to answer follow-up questions, admit its mistakes, challenge incorrect premises, and reject inappropriate requests. Try Chat GPT.
Try it. Sign up and try that shit.
Sign up and try that shit. Alright, we're just gonna sign in with Google and make this easier here.
Hold on. Oh, here. Did you fucking sign up for that?
Yeah, so I'm looking at it right now and it says...
Yeah, I can back up, boy.
Examples explain quantum computing in simple terms. Got any creative ideas for a 10-year-old's birthday? How do I make an HTTP request in JavaScript? It says capabilities. Remembers what user said in earlier conversation. Allows users to provide follow-up corrections. Trained to decline inappropriate requests, which is not fun. I don't like that one. May occasionally generate incorrect information. May occasionally produce harmful instructions or biased content.
Oh, so it's trained to decline inappropriate requests. So if you say, what's the best way to fucking rob a bank, it's going to be like, it's probably not the best idea to rob a bank. I think is what it's trained to deny that shit.
Well, yeah, it probably is. I mean, I could think of a lot of examples, how to not make a pussy stink. Like, you think it's going to tell you no?
It might. Shit, who knows?
Should we try it? Yeah.
How to not make a pussy stink.
I hope nobody takes offense to that. It's just the first thing that popped into my same mind that Wheeler Walker Jr. makes his music from.
Okay, so it just basically gave like a generic Google result on how to not make a vagina stink.
Yeah, pretty much spicy foods are one of those. Don't eat spicy foods, ladies.
Yeah. So just to be on the other spectrum, right? How to keep your balls from smelling like mold. For those men out there whose balls smell like mold.
We're going to go ahead and throw the word Swiss cheese in there because every man's had a cheesy nutsack.
Swiss cheesy nutsack. Trim the hair around the scrotum. Can help reduce. I can't read off that screen because you're moving it around. Use protection during sex. Yeah, STD infections can make your balls smell like Swiss cheese.
STI sure. Now, sir.
Or fucking whatever, dude.
If you notice a sudden change in the odor or appearance of your scrotum or testicles, it is important to speak with your healthcare provider.
Yeah, fellas. Honestly, if your balls stink, I think the best way to make them not stink would be to just shower.
Which, that's a whole nother topic, but Bert Kreischer was getting into it too. Apparently you're not supposed to shower. Like, apparently it's a bad thing. Now, one of the guys he was talking to it with was Liver King, and
Who said showering is a bad thing?
Bert Kreischer and Liver King were talking about this, but apparently there's some research to promote that.
I don't give a fuck, dude. A lot of people... Dude, I'm sorry. I don't want to smell you.
No, there are some stinky people.
Dude, no.
There are some stinky people. But apparently, it's... Bert Kreischer said it the best. I mean, he's met some people that just smell like straight wolf pussy. Like, yeah. But apparently it's bad for the microorganisms of your skin and your body and whatnot. Now, I'm in a shower. I don't care.
Yep.
Plain and simple.
Absolutely, I'm gonna shower, dude. Fuck that shit.
I mean, my hair only gets washed once every couple days. I don't wash that every day unless I pour, because then it's filled with concrete. But
no, if I take my hat off at work, it gets full of fucking grime and dirt and shit. I gotta wash it.
Well, yeah, that's another story. What is this cat doing, man?
Dude, he's a fucking butt face. I don't know. Dude, my hair is coming in majestically. You see this shit?
It's quite shiny, Enrico Suave. It's
It looks good. I got like this feather shit around my ears. Did you see that? Whew. Loving it. Dude, no, I need
no
to
matter what, this kid's head grew into a bowl when he was younger.
Dude, I was just talking about that with Felicia yesterday. I was saying, like, I've never had hair that's growing like that. It's usually just looks like Lego hair. It does. Absolutely. Let's do more chat GBT shit. So tell it to write a rap verse in the style of Eminem about extraterrestrial fucking space war. I don't know. Pull that shit out of my ass. Space involvement.
This is wild.
What is this? Yo, it's Slim Shady back with the tale. About the time I saw a UFO in the pale moonlight, they said it was crazy, but I knew that what I saw was real. Yeah, it was true. I saw little green men with big black eyes that looked so damn freaky I couldn't disguise my fear, but then they spoke to me and said they came in peace. They wanted to teach us about the universe and release us from our earthly chains. They showed me a glimpse of the cosmos, and I felt like I was in a dream. But since that day, I've been changed. I know there's more to this world than meets the eye. I can't ignore the signs, the signals, the whispers in my ear. I know they're out there, and they're coming here. Dude, this is creepy.
It's got a whole chorus, dude, too.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Extraterrestrial space involvement, it's a mystery, but I know there's more to this universe than we can see. They're watching us, they're guiding us, they're showing us the way, and I won't stop until I know the truth, until I can say.
Whole verse, too. Like, it gives you a whole song and an outro.
Yeah, Slim Shady, and I'm not crazy. I've seen the truth, and it's amazing. It's hazy. Dude, that's wild.
Now we're gonna get rabbit hole with it.
Is Jay-Z part of the Illuminati? Ultimately, the idea that Jay-Z or anyone else is part of the Illuminati is likely a baseless conspiracy theory with little to no factual basis.
That was the short version of all that.
Yeah.
Let's see how much this knows.
Huh. This is pretty crazy.
This is pretty crazy. It comes out with a very descriptive character. The fact that you can give it commands and it does something like that is very wild.
Dude, it is absolutely wild.
The technology we're coming to is asinine, man. It's crazy to see, but I truly didn't feel like I'd see a whole lot of it in our lifetime. Like, AIs are starting to go into the movies of future that you used to think you'd never see, right?
Is there like a voice to text that you can click on it and it'll read this?
Not that I can see. Probably if you upgrade to Plus. I'm not trying to upgrade to Plus.
I love how vaginal odor prevention is just tagged at the top of it.
Yeah. It is, dude. That's the subject of the first chat, because that was the first thing we asked it.
That's fucking funny.
So, what else we got for this thing? There's got to be more capability to this. Let's go.
Okay, no. Let's ask it. Who really killed John F. Kennedy?
Well, I said let's get rabbit hole. We're going down the rabbit hole.
This is something that I wanted to talk about this week, actually, because I found a fucking video that is insane. You got to see this, dude.
This thing comes up with answers really quick, too. In short, while there are many theories and speculations about who really killed John F. Kennedy, there is no conclusive evidence to support any particular theory, and the assassination remains a controversial and debated topic to this day.
Yeah, I was trying to find the video I was watching. It was crazy, like, you can see him. It's the clearest video I've ever seen of it. Usually it's like super grainy, but this one was like zoomed in to a point where it could still be clear, but you could really see what was going on. And he's driving and waving, and then all of a sudden, like, a sign, he drives by a sign, you can't see him, and then when he comes out of the sign, he's like holding his neck, and his wife is like like, what the hell's going on with him? And then all of a sudden, his fucking cap just gets blown fucking back, dude. Like, wasn't it always said that he was shot once by the Lee Harvey Oswald from the Brooks Depository building or whatever, right? That's what it was. But why was he holding his neck? And then all of a sudden, you can literally see his skull like flap open.
Huh.
It's fucking insane. I need to find that video.
Let's see, JFK.
I think I found it on Reddit.
That stuff could be... Goes all back to this AI stuff, though. Like, dude, video editing is insane.
Yeah, I don't know. This shit's crazy. Maybe I could find it in my history. Oh, yeah. I had to find it in DuckDuckGo. I couldn't find it on Google. That's what it was. Watch this shit.
This version zooms in on the image as much as possible without causing deterioration. President Kennedy is kept at center frame. This is only in slow motion.
See, he's like waving, goes by the sign, holding his neck. His wife's like touching him, like, what's going on? And then straight dome destroyed.
Oh, shit. Looks like he got shot a first time in the chest or something.
In like the neck area, right? It looks like.
Well, he kind of popped his head up like this and then came around his neck, but then was going down like this.
Like, look at this shit.
Yeah, watch his movements.
So there he is.
It's not quite his neck, it's more his face, and then he kind of comes down and he's at his chest.
Yep. And then straight up, boom. That video is fucking insane.
That video's wild.
Right? I've seen a couple of them, and none of them ever that clear, and I don't even think they were from that camera. Like, that is crazy.
That's wild. I've never seen... Oh, man, I've never seen that before.
Yeah, that shit's fucking nuts.
I haven't even looked into this DuckDuckGo.
So what DuckDuckGo is it's a completely private search engine. But I don't know how that works if you're accessing it from Google Chrome.
Yeah, it says it's got its own secondary app, but I mean it's a website, so anything that's a website, it does like a reroute. So you go through Google, you're not necessarily on Google's server, but you're on Google, right?
Yeah. Once
you go to DuckDuckGo, you're off of Google's server or their network, essentially, because the World Wide Web was a thing before Google was a thing. Yeah. So no matter what, you're going through different servers. It's just a reroute. You can still get to anything through Google, any website. But it just reroutes you, is all it does.
Huh. I guess I don't know much about how that works, but you can definitely find more shit on DuckDuckGo than you can on Google.
Probably just different search algorithms.
Well, it's been proven that they hide stuff.
Screen stuff.
Yeah. Absolutely been proven that is the thing that they do. That was not my vibrator, folks. That was my Dr. Dabber XS switch.
Can I get a oh yeah?
Oh yeah.
It was his vibrator, totally. He was really excited to get it in the mail. First thing he showed me when I came here today, he's like, dude, check this thing out.
Yep.
I named it Bob.
It did come in discreet packaging.
So this is what I was trying to go into earlier, and I decided to ask this AI, the Anunnaki, when it came to like aliens. And Anunnaki are more into mythology, but if you dive deeper down the hole of the Anunnaki, it turns into, obviously, deities and it says it right there. Power to create and control human destiny, and then speculations that you get into it as far as, is it alien or is it deish? Is it, gods, or is it another life form? I mean, and I did a little bit of looking on this stuff last night just because Joe brought it up at work after Levi and Joe brought up Bohemian Grove.
Were they talking about it?
They mentioned it, yeah.
Dude, that shit's crazy, right?
Wild.
Did you look into it more?
I didn't really do a bunch more looking into it, no.
Dude, what's crazy about that
I got
shit...
about 10 rabbit holes I could dive in at the moment, and...
Dude, what's crazy about that shit is Alex Jones is the one that blew it wide the fuck open.
That doesn't surprise me.
Dude,
that guy...
This motherfucker snuck in to a secret society with a fucking camera in the 70s? Motherfucker's James Bond, dude. If he wouldn't have said all the loony shit about Sandy Hook...
Oh, man.
Dude, that guy...
That guy's been blackballed in more than one instance. Like that... He is theorist upon theorist.
Dude, that
Alex Jones. He is nuts.
That guy's fucking insane.
Absolutely insane.
Come on,
But these Anunnaki, they were believed to have created the first human beings, taught humans arts of agriculture, metallurgy, and society, basically. Like, that's who these Anunnaki are said to be.
Huh.
Yeah, and it's really weird because things like Marvel movies and whatnot, they really kind of like play on that anymore. Like the newest one, Ant-Man, not a bad movie. Brother kind of mentioned it. It doesn't really deserve its own standalone. And it's not the only review on that that's kind of like that, but it was good. I feel like it was more so like a release it on Disney Plus movie than it was movie theater, if
Ant-Man?
that makes sense. Yeah, the newest Ant-Man. But it brings in the newest villain, Kang. Which Kang is not the only Kang. There's an infinite amount of Kangs because it comes into the alternate realities and multiverse and whatnot. But basically, Kang goes around killing worlds. Entire worlds.
Oh, yeah, he's supposed to be like the fucking...
The bad guy.
Yeah, he's killed... I think I saw a cover of it, and he had like Captain America's fucking shield, Spider-Man's mask. Like,
yeah, that's supposed to be the newest Avenger movie.
Yeah.
I don't think it's coming out till like 25 or something.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just gonna murk everybody.
But I guess Loki leads into it on Disney Plus because Marvel does really good at tying all their stuff in. So Loki leads into it as the first time you see Kang. And then Kang comes into this Ant-Man movie, and then it takes you to this point where there's an infinite amount of Kangs. So to tell which Kang is actually from the comic book is now going to become a whole nother object in its own. Yeah. Wild. Absolutely wild.
I need to watch all those in order.
It's a long watch.
I think the last one I watched was the first Avengers where half of everybody fucking disappeared.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's Marvel's like playing on all this ancient stuff. When you actually get diving into this stuff and you watch these new Marvel movies, that phrase right there, basically creating civilization. Like Marvel is playing on the fact that we have an alternate universe and speculation, that there's things out there in speculation, and we have zero idea what the hell is really going on outside of these atmospheres. I don't care how much we send to space.
Dude, well, we'll never fucking know.
Not in our lifetime. Or the next. Or the next.
I don't think in anybody's lifetime that that's going to be something that we are 100% definitive of.
I think the Marvel movies got it on point minus superheroes. Truthfully.
I mean, there's so many... What we can even see when we go outside and look at the stars doesn't even come close to what's out there.
Oh, not even a little bit.
There's... You can't even... It's endless. There's not even a fucking... there's not even a number that you could utter that would describe the infancy, or infinity of the fucking how far space goes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how else to say that, because it's...
Elon Musk can't even see that far.
No, like, it's so undescribable, I have a hard time describing it. That's how far space goes.
There's zero things to say that if you don't pop into a black hole, that you don't pop out on the other side of something else.
Yeah.
Period. And truthfully, I feel like we could. I feel like you pop through a black hole, you're popping out of a black hole.
Or you just completely get fucking disintegrated the moment you enter it, you know.
That too. But
your atoms are infinitely ripped apart. That's the word I was looking for, infinitely.
It's weird that comic book movies get your brain kind of moving in that way.
Dude,
but like talking about atoms and stuff, I mean,
like the Rick and Morty shit with the portals. Like,
oh yeah.
Like that. Imagine if that's what shit could be. Like, you just have a gun that can take you to any one of these different dimensions that exist. And according to a lot of fucking scientists right now, there's not only this dimension that we live in.
Oh no.
You know, like,
there's no way this is the only dimension.
Like,
if we're a possibility, so is anything else. Period. If we are as a human race or whatever is on this earth is a possibility, then there's a possibility for anything.
I just wonder if there's any of those science fiction movies or anything like that that's actually gotten it right.
Probably not right.
Like,
that's
what if Rick and Morty's who got it right?
If Rick and Morty's who got it right, dude, I don't have any kind of faith, truthfully.
Fucking Rick Sanchez, dude. He's the fucking goat.
It's
How do you think they're gonna continue that shit without the voice of that guy that got kicked off the show? He did.
I don't know. I didn't even know he got kicked off the show. I've watched Rick and Morty. I haven't like diligently watched Rick and Morty.
It was just in the news not too long ago. I think he got accused of, it was either sexual assault or physical assault on a spouse.
Yeah, I didn't hear about that.
And he got kicked off the show, but he was like, he did the voice of Rick, Morty, fucking like all the voices.
Huh.
And so, but they said that they're going to continue it, just recasting the voices. And I wonder how good the show's going to be with recasted voices.
Recasted voices and technology, man, you can make that sound almost no different. I mean, you can't.
With AI, they probably don't even need another actor.
It's kind of what I was getting at.
Yeah.
Is I could sit there and talk, and my voice is changed into the voices they need.
Yeah, that's fucking nuts.
The only way I think they need a voice is for articulation. That's it.
Dude. Man, what's this shit coming to? Do you remember that movie AI from back in the day? Where that fucking little boy...
Yep. That shit's real now.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. He just gets thrown into the bottom of the fucking ocean, and then like 3,000 years later, he's dug back out.
Yeah.
Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, dude, Hollywood movies are becoming a verse of our reality. It's wild. Like, obviously, where I was going is like the quantum realm. You were talking about atoms, right? Well, okay, so I'm not saying the quantum realm itself is real, but...
There's nothing saying it's not real.
No, there's nothing saying it's not real. But when you get to thinking about black holes and whatnot, what if it didn't disintegrate you? Just rearranged your shit completely.
How is it going to put you back together?
We don't know this. We don't know any of this. We don't know what it's going to do. There's absolutely nothing saying we understand any of it, but none of it doesn't exist either. There could be powers out there that we have zero understanding or even fathoming of outside of Hollywood.
Dude, it's like Fallout 4. Where you fucking go into the vault and then they cryogenically freeze you without your fucking consent, and then you get woken up and they're kidnapping your baby from your wife and she won't let go of it, so they kill your fucking wife, and then you can't do anything about it because you're stuck in the fucking cryo chamber, and then they freeze your ass again, and then you wake up 200 years later, like, and somehow your son's still alive, but he's like way older than you, and he's like the grandfather of all these fucking people. He created all this artificial intelligence, like,
dude, it's insane the possibilities that come from it, but at risk of sounding like a complete conspiracy theorist, something tells me that Hollywood gets its ideas from somewhere. And think of how many movies have been made that something similar follows. Of course, there's been a lot of movies made from true stories, right?
yes.
But things like AI, or our society damn near came to I Am Legend with COVID. Like,
Dude. Fucking, we were in the Walmart in Chicago, and it was desolate. Like, store shelves completely torn apart. Like, you could not find fucking anything. We were trying to get, like, fucking towels, I think, and, like, I think there was, like, hand towels were the only towels available in the whole fucking store. It was ridiculous. I couldn't believe the utter madness that these fucking idiots were losing their goddamn minds over a cold.
and sometime, granted, I know history repeats itself, so like,
It's gonna happen again.
it's gonna happen again.
It's absolutely gonna happen again, especially now that the government knows that they can fucking do it.
But there was movies made about viruses just like this, even though
Contagion.
Contagion.
With
Yeah.
fucking Lawrence Fishburne, right?
Yeah.
He was in that movie.
Yeah. And there was other movies made before the time. And granted, I know those movies came from, ideas that happened in history, but at the same time, they're changed to a point that really are more relatable to something that happens in the future. And it's wild. And I know I sound like a complete conspiracy theorist, but
Dude,
there's way too many odd connections and shit anymore.
conspiracy theories are only conspiracy theories until they're conspiracy facts. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's how many conspiracy theories have been proven to be true? The biggest one of them all.
Way too many.
The biggest one of them all. Area 51. Did you know that the first time a president
We
ever...
still don't know what's inside there, though.
But do you know that the first time that a president ever even used the words Area 51 to talk about that area was Obama? Area 51 was still... They still never admitted that it was a fucking thing until Obama.
It's because Obama's a fucking alien.
Dude,
I didn't know this was one of the facts. Speaking of Obama, back to our random.
but he was the
topic
first.
jumping.
He was the first president to be like, and we were studying aircrafts at Area 51, and it was. He was the first person to say that. Everybody else would say something like, "Oh, we're down at the lake or in the desert,"
Yeah, it's.
But that just goes to show right there that, like, Bob Lazar. You know who Bob Lazar is?
I don't know who Bob Lazar is.
Shut the fuck up. You don't know who
I
Bob
don't know
Lazar
who Bob Lazar is.
Dude, Bob Lazar was a guy that worked at Area 51 in the 80s and blew the whistle on the whole fucking thing, dude. Like, went to a journalist, can't remember what his name was, and, like, they showed him with his face blurred, and he told the story about these fucking extraterrestrial aircrafts that they were studying on, and he was scared for his life, like, all sorts of shit. Like, he took people to the desert where he knew that they were going to be flying these fucking crazy aircrafts with his friends, and were just videotaping it with cameras. He was, like, taking friends that he met at the bar to watch these crazy aircrafts fly around in the fucking New Mexico desert. And he blew the lid on the whole fucking thing. And then at first it was secretive, but then he came out with himself as himself and told the whole story and, like, said shit about some shit called, like, Compound 15 or something like that. That's what they used to fuel these aircrafts that didn't operate like any aircrafts that humans can create. Like, And most of it turned out to be true. We were able to synthesize Compound 15 in like 2011 and completely prove that what Bob Lazar was saying was a fact about at least that particular thing. He said that he like walked by a window at Area 51 and like saw a couple guys like looking at some humanoid figure that he couldn't tell what it was, but it looked really small. It could have been a dummy, it could have been a doll, it could have been an alien. Didn't know what the fuck it was. And he also said that one of the fucking aircrafts that they were working on was discovered during an archaeological dig. So it was old as fuck. This was in the 80s. And he said that they've been working on this thing since like the 50s. Do you know why Area 51 is called Area 51? Because it was fucking made in 1951. That simple.
Really?
Yep. Shit's crazy, dude. If people don't think the government keeps secrets from us, they're fucking idiots.
Oh, I agree. The government, absolutely. We all know this.
Dude, it's insane. The amount of shit that... There's a book that some lady, I think her name's... Fuck, I can't remember what her name is, but she's an author that wrote a lot of books about Area 51 and like CIA assassins and shit. But she had a source that was a guy that worked there that said that they were doing that. The Area 51 stuff was when the aircraft crashed in Roswell, New Mexico in 1947.
Yeah.
He said that they had discovered that it was Joseph Stalin in Russia had genetically like altered people with surgery to make them look like aliens, built a spacecraft thing that he put these people in, invaded airspace, and then dropped this thing into Roswell, New Mexico, and to fuck with people.
What?
Basically to fuck with the United States. And so the United States didn't want Russia to be ahead of us because it was a slap in the face that they invaded our airspace.
Right.
They didn't want Russia to be ahead of us, so they started doing experiments on fucking humans in Area 51 after that shit because they were trying to figure out how Russia surgically modified these people to look like fucking aliens. So like her source in the book that she wrote on Area 51 was like felt guilty about this, and that's why he came out with it, because he was doing experiments on humans in the 50s at Area 51. And like it's fucking crazy. Absolutely crazy. I mean, like, the CIA's been doing experiments on humans for forever. I mean, like, MK Ultra, that came out as being
they were dropping acid on people. Like, I mean, it's...
There's a conspiracy theory that turned into a conspiracy fact. MK Ultra, right there. Completely undeniable. They were fucking dosing people with LSD without their permission and fucking doing crazy experiments on them. Hasn't it already been announced as a fact, too, that the CIA was responsible for the fucking crack epidemic in urban communities in the
See, that I don't know about.
80s? Like, that's... Dude, our government's fucked up.
I think any government's fucked up, but...
Well, yeah, I don't think anybody's doing it right.
No, the government anywhere you are is a society that fucking operates over your society.
And a lot of people think that they're doing it better. And they're not really doing it better at all.
No. We are just...
I don't think there's a country in the world that doesn't have people that are in fucked up. There's places in the world right now that are living in basically the apocalypse. Pretty much what all they've ever known is the fucking apocalypse.
Third world shit, man. What was that movie with the aliens?
The ones in Alaska, the fourth kind or whatever?
No. No, I can't think of this movie. It came out years ago.
War of the Worlds.
No, District 9.
I don't think I saw that.
You didn't see that? You should watch it. It's wild. It's absolutely wild.
I don't think I saw that one. District 9.
Yep.
What's that one about?
So, kind of looking it up right now, but I haven't seen it in a long time. In 82, an alien spaceship appears over Johannesburg, South Africa. When a population of sick and malnourished insectoid aliens is discovered on the ship, the South African government confines them to an internment camp called District 9. So they're in almost like a concentration camp, basically.
Because aliens took over the world?
These sick aliens landed on Earth.
So they... Oh, fucking crazy.
Yeah.
So they quarantined them.
Essentially, yeah. Created their own world. Their own little living quarters, I guess I should say. 20 years later, government's relocation of the aliens to another camp, one of the confined aliens named Christopher Johnson, who was about to try to escape from Earth with his son and return home.
Christopher Johnson. That's like the most generic white name they could have possibly came up with.
Yes, absolutely.
Christopher Johnson coming to save the day.
Bill Bob, dude.
Well, at least it's not two first names. So that could...
So, basically it says, and this is... They used aliens and so forth, but it says, title and premise of District 9 were inspired by events in Cape Town's District 6 during the apartheid era. It's, so I guess kind of based on true events from other areas, but...
Oh, I can click on your shit from here.
That's pretty fancy. But when you think about it, if aliens landed, would they not do something like that?
I don't think they would let humans control them like that.
No, not necessarily like that, but putting them in an area.
They would never let them do that.
You know what I mean?
No.
I'm not explaining how I'm doing it right. But governments, period. Who's to say that Area 51's not exactly what we think? You got an elevator goes downstairs, there's a fucking living quarters to aliens down there. Who's to say that Area 51's...
It's fucking Men in Black.
It's just Men in Black.
Just aliens walking around. fucking, you got the little worm guys. Hey!
It's just men. Maybe not necessarily Men in Black, but, at this point, fuck it, right?
You got Bismarcky living down there.
But who's to say that Area 51's the only place in this world that doesn't have stuff like that? I guarantee you, every government's got something relative to it. Guarantee it.
To a place where they would quarantine aliens.
Yes. or alien research, man. Like...
Every government is absolutely interested in at least UFOs.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
They're absolutely interested in that. How many fucking balloons did we shoot down last month? There's a lot going on.
I just don't think that the possibility of all this is absent.
Never. Dude, I think if you don't believe that there's at least another version of us out there somewhere in the fucking cosmos, like I said earlier.
Doesn't even have to be us, just a humanoid type structure. Yeah, plain and simple.
An infinite amount of fucking planets and galaxies and whatever else there is out there. There's got to be another form of advanced civilization.
If we exist, so does something else.
Yeah.
Period. In the possibilities that are infinite out there, if we exist, so does something else.
And what's to say that's not where the stories of God came from?
Yeah, and that's back to the Anunnaki, right? That's basically what people named God.
Yeah. Crazy when you think about it. And when you look into other ancient cultures and stuff, they didn't just worship
the Mayans, dude.
God. There's the sun god, the fucking wind god, the dirt god, the cum god, the whatever the fuck they were worshiping. They had a god for fucking everything.
Yeah.
Literally everything. And what's to say that those, whatever they worshipped as God, were not fucking aliens that came down, and that's why they worship them. You know, because
Something
they're
out there
fucking
is
mad.
somewhere mixed between Moon Knight, the Mayans, the new deity figure in Black Panther, and ancient mythologies. Somewhere in between all of that, something exists.
Well, have you watched Ancient Apocalypse?
I have not watched Ancient
You
Apocalypse.
should watch Ancient Apocalypse.
Where's that?
I think it's on Netflix.
Okay.
It talks about the greater Dryas fucking something theory, and it's that there was a civilization before us that was 100 times more advanced than we are now. And then something happened, whether it be meteor strikes, whatever, that completely wiped out that civilization, and those that survived that had to start over, and that's what we are.
Huh.
Because when you think about it, like the pyramids, for this, that's the biggest thing about in the thing is the pyramids, right? Like the smoothest stones that are completely perfectly placed that you can't even slide a fucking hair in between them because they're so perfectly placed next to each other. Cleanest fucking cuts. You're a concrete dude. You more than anybody should understand that how difficult it is to stack rocks on top of each other and make it perfect. Absolutely fucking perfect. That you couldn't even slide a hair through it.
Now, with all of that, I don't believe the pyramids were built with aliens.
Not aliens. They're just not saying it's aliens. It's saying that human beings there was an entire civilization of human beings way before. So what they're saying is that what we believe is the start of human civilization is actually a restart of human civilization.
So, but where does that come into play with the pyramids? Because that would be under the restart. But I mean, chisels will do a long work, especially with the stone that stuff was made out of.
People believe that there was a civilization before us of human beings that were 100 times more advanced than us. No matter what you say right now, we could never recreate the pyramids of Giza. Ever. We couldn't do it. It's absolute. We do not have the technology today to do what they did. And we haven't. We've tried over and over and over again. We do not have the technology to do what they did. The stone that's in those pyramids can be traced back to rock that it was dug out of fucking mountains 17,000 miles away from where the fucking pyramids are. And they were supposed to build that 2,000 years ago. People in Egypt believe that they're 20,000 years old, not 2,000 years old. Dude, watch Ancient Apocalypse, dude. I can't really describe it because I don't fully grasp what it actually is, but that's the gist of it, is that, and when they talk about it on there, it completely makes sense.
That does make sense. My mind when talking about civilizations before kind of all reverts back to the Mayans. I think the Mayans were...
This is 20,000 years before the Mayans.
Well, we don't know that.
Great restart.
Well, great restart, but I mean, look at the Mayan technology. I dare say that the Mayan technology was more advanced than the ancient Egyptian technology.
They don't even think it was Egyptians that made it. Because you got to remember Pangea, right? At one point in time, it was all one big continent that split apart.
Right. Being a supercontinent.
The Mayans definitely did some crazy shit, but that's nowhere near the fucking pyramids of Giza, dude.
I think they're pretty relatable. considering for what they had back then, being able to do something like that, and a whole lot of these structures still being in existence. Tell me how that makes sense.
Go look at the pyramids, though. Pull up the pyramids. Those are, look at, that's not even close to what the Mayans built. That's so much more incredible.
I don't know. I think
The sheer size of the main pyramid is huge. Like, Google how much bigger the Mayan temples are compared to the Great Pyramids.
I don't know, man. I think they're pretty truly relatable. I mean, this is one from the Aztec and Mayan era. Tell me that's any less extravagant than a Pyramid of Giza.
Yeah, that's... Yeah, those are pretty crazy looking pyramids too.
But tell me how back then you got rocks to stack the way they got stacked, kind of like what you're saying. Maybe there was something before the Mayans that we even knew.
Also, in places like where the Mayans and the Aztec were, that's like Mexico, right? Like Latin America, like those areas, right? That's where they were, right?
Yeah.
There's more chances of water, for one, being there, right? You can move stuff on water. They say that they put, like in Egypt, they say that they put these rocks on fucking trees and rolled them to the place, right? But the size of the stones themselves are what is in question here. You put the rock on logs to roll it across the sand, what's going to happen to the logs? They're going to sink into the sand. They're not going to roll.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily, because again, this comes from my trade, but sand, depending on any type of sand, sand is probably one of the most compactable substances there is. Sand can be rock hard. Your feet may initially sink, but once that weight gets distributed over something so large, being able to roll something is physically possible.
I could see that for sure, but initially, how is it going to work? You know what I'm saying? You would have to really... How heavy do you think those rocks are? Like...
Oh, I'm sure they're... I couldn't even fathom the weight, but...
Some pyramidologists claim that the Great Pyramids of Giza have encoded within it predictions for the Exodus. Oh, yeah, no, I don't care about that shit. All right, bro. So all we can do to settle this based on opinion is we need to go to the Mayan temple and we need to go to Egypt. Okay.
Vacation time, bitch.
So I think I'll start looking into flights to Egypt. Go ahead and get your passport ready. We're gonna go check this shit out.
I definitely think it's all necessarily current speculation because we have zero idea how
the
old
Greater Dryas Impact Theory is what it's called. Okay, and it's basically states that meteors impacted the Earth at some point in time, and
the what? What is it?
Meteors.
No, the theory.
The Greater Dryas Impact Theory, I think.
Hypothesis proposes that the airburst or impact of a comet 12,850 years ago caused the ensuing 1,200 year longer Younger Dryas cool period and contributed to the extinction of the Pleistocene and megafauna in the Western Hemisphere and the disappearance of the Clovis Paleo-Indian culture. Unfortunately, I wish I knew what any of that meant. Proponents believe that certain microscopic debris is evidence of impact and that black mats of sediment are evidence of widespread fires. They contend that extinction of megafauna was synchronous with associated effects on prehistoric human societies, and they say that their observations and interpretations cannot be adequately explained by volcanic, anthropogenic, or other natural processes. They argue that there is a synchronous Younger Dryas boundary layer that should be used as a local or even global stratigraphic marker. Now, the one thing that sticks out to all of this is, I guess I need to dive deeper into what Younger Dryas actually is.
Well,
Because it's a
they can dig into the crust of the Earth and find matter that is only found in space. So they have proof that comets have been impacting the Earth's crust for at least 12,500 BC or something like that?
12,850 years ago, yeah. So, and coming back to what you're just talking about,
And
proponents reported materials including nanodiamonds, metallic microspherules, Kalmer spherules, magnetic spherules, iridium, platinum, palladium ratios, charcoal soot, and felurines enriched with helium-3 that interpret as evidence for an impact that marks the beginning of the Younger Dryas.
But they think that completely wiped out a civilization that was far more advanced than we are now. And not just that they believe that they just developed a completely different way of doing things than we do. They don't believe that they had the internal combustion engine. You know what I'm saying? They believe that they had some other way of traveling. Or
Right.
some other way of doing things. Some other way of using gravity to their
Everyday way of life.
Yeah. Like, it's crazy. Shit's fucking crazy.
Rabbit holes, man. These are all going on the list of rabbit holes.
I enjoy falling into them sometimes. For sure. It's pretty fun. Plus, it gives us something to ramble about for an hour and 15 minutes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So the Younger Dryas, which occurred circa 12,900 to 11,700 years ago, was a return to glacial conditions. Basically, the Ice Age. Okay. So, essentially, the Younger Dryas
is what caused the Ice Age.
Yes. Or is the Ice Age.
And they believe that it was meteors that caused it.
Yep. Basically what it gathers. So now we're going to dive down that rabbit hole that...
Want to hit this yet? There you go. Attaboy.
Could an industrial pre-human civilization have existed on Earth before ours?
Pull up YouTube and look at the ancient apocalypse. Here, I'll do it. Here, we can do...
I prefer to read it.
Alright, Mr. fucking Smarty Pants.
No, I just prefer
I prefer to read it.
videos, man. We had this discussion last episode. Videos and me just...
No, I'm just talking about the show where they talk about it.
Astrobiological perspective, investigating whether the rise of an alien industrial civilization on an exoplanet might necessarily trigger climate changes similar to those we see during Earth's own Anthropocene. But almost before Frank could describe, he talks about a guy named Frank. I kind of jumped in mid-paragraph here because it caught my eye. How do you know we're the only time there's been a civilization on our own planet?
So who's Frank?
So,
For one, who the fuck is Frank? I want to know. I want to know who Frank is and why I should care about what he has to say.
That's fair. There's a lot that came to it, but Adam Frank is his actual name. Frank is his last name.
So he's one of those fuckers that's got two first names.
He's an astrophysicist. So some of this basically talks about how I see Gavin, but I don't see a name before that. Gavin Schmidt, climate modeler and director of NASA Goddard Institute for Space Studies. So basically him and this Adam Frank were going over things from 200,000 year periods. The Paleocene, Eocene, thermal maximum, a 200,000 year period that occurred some 55.5 million years ago when global average temps rose by 5 to 8 degrees Celsius, or 9 to 14 degrees Fahrenheit for us imperial fucks. Schmidt has pondered the PETM for his entire career and was on
Did you hold up. Did you just read that in here? It said for us imperial fucks?
No, that was me. I inserted that.
I said this is a Scientific American article, and that's how they're gonna talk to me. Like,
No, I inserted that. That was all me.
I was gonna say fuck you too, Scientific American.
Nope, just fuck you too, Eric.
But on the other hand, I kind of like this guy's writing.
So, in short terms of this long article, they've gone down this rabbit hole.
Yeah, dude, and I think it's real.
I don't think it's not a possibility. I definitely don't think it's not a possibility. Kind of goes back to that whole history repeats itself thing. History repeats itself sometimes in shorter timelines than others, sometimes in longer timelines than we can even fathom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But history repeats itself. Plain and simple. And I've never had a reason to been disproved of that.
No. You're not the first one to say it, though, either.
No, I'm not. And I won't be the last one either. But it's why my father being one of them, he loves to
Speaking
jump
of your
back to
father.
Revelations.
Oh my fucking God.
And to me, it's kind of, he goes down that, and the only thing I ever tell him is, well, Pop, history repeats itself, so,
Yeah. I'm just gonna. We're not gonna touch on that.
I don't want to touch on that, but it was just a simple example.
I love your dad very much. He's a great dude. And speaking of what happened to his face today, that's
Oh, well,
what did he do?
he kind of overreacted it just a little bit. I mean, the way he called me, I thought I had to rush over there, and I got there to the Broadway Lofts projects because he's working for Edgel Construction right now. And he had a 5-in-1 putty knife deal in his hand, and he slipped off a ladder because the guy with broken feet belongs on ladders.
Yep.
Slipped off of a ladder and, I don't know, somehow caught his face, and he got a good slice right here. Just left of his, or right of his nose, whatever side it was on anyway. And you can see meat when he spread it open. They just didn't really do nothing, but he sliced his nose right here. You could see a slice from right inside all the way to the outside. I think he straight separated his nose.
Fuck, that's scary.
But it wasn't bleeding or nothing like crazy. It's wild, but I guess they glued that back together.
Usually face wounds bleed pretty good.
Yeah, these didn't bleed.
I cracked open my eyebrow one time, and that motherfucker was like a pool of blood. It was crazy. It bled a lot. Well, I'm glad he's okay.
Yeah.
When you called and said you were going to be late, I was like, because my dad cut his face. I was like, oh no. Usually when your dad hurts himself, dude, he fucking
Hurts himself.
hurts himself.
It's pretty good usually.
There's no in between. It's no just slipped and fall. It's slipped and broke my back.
Or both my feet.
Yeah.
You're not wrong about that. Dad, if you're going to listen to this, I love you, but...
Fucking guy will clip his toenails and cut his pinky toe off.
That's probably why he doesn't clip his toenails. No, you know what? I got the same bad habit of it, though. Went snowboarding a couple weeks ago. Pretty sure I blew my hernia back out.
Yeah, you were saying that. That's
damn near positive of it. I can feel it now, so That's pretty cool. I'm hoping it's just sore, but
Yeah, whatever.
if not, I'm another $10,000 down the hole for a hernia.
So is snowboarding code for fucking fat girls? Is that?
No, it's not.
Oh, Jesus.
No, sir. It was when I went snowboarding with Ava, and I got to go do a couple runs while she was at her lesson, and I got a little too cocky for my own good because shit just felt natural again, and took one hard fall, and I made that one fall worth every fall of the day. But pretty sure I blew my hernia back out.
Your hernia is about to blow your back out.
I get that same trait from my dad. Look at my arm, dude.
Yeah.
That was pure dumbassness. Don't get me wrong, but
Dude, this fucking guy in... What year was that?
2011.
2011.
2011.
Decides the best...
June 27th.
He decided that the best way to release his frustration was to
There was a whole other situation behind that.
to punch through a double pane glass window.
The whole situation behind that, regardless, the choice was dumb. The choice was dumb.
Sometimes when you're younger, you have an explosive mind and it doesn't really think about the consequences of actions. But
I blame my uncle for that one for a long time. Truly, that was my dumb ass fault, though, because I could have used the hockey stick or cinder blocks in it. Nope, instead I used my arm right through the window.
yeah, dude, that was crazy.
Tourniquet with a Taco Bell belt.
Yeah, that was a crazy scenario. You really fucked up your arm on that.
For the rest of my life.
How is it? Is it? It seems better now, though. It doesn't.
It is. It's pretty much better. It sucks in the wintertime because it's got poor circulation, so it gets cold as shit. Every now and again, even to the day, it still kind of locks up. Worst time is when you're beating off. It's like kung fu grip, dude. Like, fuck, I can't let go. You just got to sit there for a while.
Take my good hand.
Use your strong hand. No, it does good most of the way. It works real well with concrete, so there's a lot of things I can't do just the right way either, and there's certain things I won't ever be able to do because of the emotions, but I fucked her up good. I mean, shit, dude, I tore half my bicep off.
Dude, the crazy thing I thought about it was, didn't you sever your whole entire ligament the main one that runs through your arm?
Separated the median artery that snapped back into my shoulder, and so did one of the major tendons. The three tendons to my thumb, index, and middle finger aren't actually even individual tendons. They're spliced tendons off the pinky and ring finger.
Huh.
Which is why I still can't move. Like, that's the motion I get with it by itself, and I can't, no matter how hard I try, I can't move them individually. They move together just fine. Flipping somebody off, it's like awkward to try and get.
Fuck you with my weak hand today.
Sometimes it just ends up like this. Like that. I can't, when I move my arm out, that's what I get. It's wild. Like, feel the pressure behind that. Like, just grab my finger and feel the pressure that I'm trying to behind that.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
It's wild, dude. Won't ever work the same again.
Yep, that was a scary day. You were all fucked up in the hospital going in there.
Yeah, I don't even remember you being there.
Dude, yeah. Yep, I came.
I remember the fucking multiple girlfriends I had showing up at the same time. That was interesting.
You're a wild one.
I've had my fucking days, man.
Yeah.
I've had my days.
Fucking Christ. Well, what do you think? Should we wrap this up?
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
I think we hit about 20 minutes longer than last time, so.
Yeah, this was a good one.
Yeah, it was.
I think the audio might be a little messy in the beginning, but
Yeah.
whatever, dude. We're still fucking learning. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today, and please like and subscribe so we can do this forever. We have a lot of fun doing this, and we're gonna do it whether you guys watch or not. But it'd be pretty cool if people were watching and listening.
I agree. Throw some topics our way too. We love jumping down rabbit holes, but
yeah, we're gonna start getting some guests in here soon. Definitely looking into who we want to have hanging out with us, and
some days might get more serious than others. Some might just be real hard stoner sessions.
It'll usually be stoner sessions, regardless of how serious it gets.
Yeah, that's fair. We appreciate you guys.
All night, but everything is alright. It's a rough week and I don't get enough sleep. It's a long year pretending I belong here.